Okay, right, here we go. This is the video lesson for Unit 4. Uh, only audio from me, just my voice. Okay, so listen to my voice as I talk, but basically it's every page from the book, but we don't need to study every page, so I will just skip through some of the pages that we don't need to study. So here we go. Unit 4, Customs and Traditions. Alright, so the first 2 pages of every unit are connected to video activities, but we don't do these. So we don't need to look at this, so let's skip through these pages. But by the way, you should have your book in front of you for this video lesson, okay? You want to have your book in front of you, and as we go through each page, we're going to stop every now and then, and we're going to do some of the activities in the book. So the best way to do this video lesson is to have your book in front of you, and sometimes I'll just say to you, okay, pause the video, and at that moment you can just stop the video and do some of the exercises in your book, and then I will go through the answers with you. Okay, so that's the best way to do this. All right, let's move on. We don't need these 2 pages in the book. So, page 84 and 85, listening 1. So we can do the vocabulary. So as you know by now, there are 2 sets of vocabulary words in every unit, listening 1 and listening 2. Okay, and there are 8 sets of words. So let's have a look at listening 1 words. So this is a time when I would suggest pause the video and just self-study those words on page 84. Have a go at answering the questions. So you've got 2 choices. Try to circle the correct answer, and then when you've done that, start the video again and I will tell you the answers. Okay, so I'll give you a 5-second little pause and then I'll go through the answers right now. Okay, so number 1, my neighborhood is very multicultural. People of many cultures and religions live here. So the word is multicultural. The correct answer is B, including people who have many different customs and beliefs. Multicultural. All right, that's usually when you describe a place. London in the UK is very multicultural. There are many people from many different countries living there. Seoul, I suppose, is the most multicultural city in Korea. And you could compare it to a smaller city where there aren't that many other foreign people living there, and you would just say it isn't very multicultural. 2, the tradition of letter writing has almost died out. These days, everyone communicates by social media, texting, or email. Died out. All right, so that's A, to become rare and then disappear. It's almost died out. 3, Min-soo interacts with a lot of people all day at work, so when he gets home, he likes to relax and spend some time alone. Interacts. Okay, so that's B, to communicate and do things with someone or something. To interact with someone. That's the verb. Interaction would be the noun. 4, tomorrow is my 10th work anniversary. I can't believe I've had this job for 10 years. Right, I think you guys are probably familiar with the word anniversary. B, the day on which an important event happened in a previous year. So the most obvious one is the wedding anniversary in Western culture anyway. When people get married every year, they celebrate that day. That is their wedding anniversary. We don't usually use anniversary when we're talking about death. Some people say it's the anniversary of my father's death. In English, that's not really that common. We would just say today is the day of my father's death. It's been 5 years since my father died. Anniversary is usually a celebration, so it's something that was good. Okay, so just be careful. Using anniversary with bad things, especially death, it's not really very common. Number 5. In the United States, most families have a celebration at Thanksgiving. They get together with family and friends to enjoy a big meal. Right, Thanksgiving is Chuseok. Thanksgiving in America is pretty much the same as Chuseok. It's originally related to harvesting the land, growing food. All right, so celebration is B, doing something to mark a special day or event. 6, a few generations ago, people listened to the radio at night instead of watching TV or going online. A few generations ago. Right, generation A, all the people of about the same age within a society or a family. All right, so you've probably heard my father's generation, my grandfather's generation, my generation. The people of that age. 7, Anna has had an active political career. Political, B, relating to the government. And then 8, social anthropologists study the ways in which people live in groups around the world. So we want to go with social. So that is A, relating to a large group of people who live together in an organized way. Social. Anthropology is the study of humans, the study of people. So social anthropology is the study of the way people live together. Okay, right, so that is the list, that's the vocabulary for page 84. Let's go on to the next part of the book. Right, page 86, we don't need to worry about that. Page 87, we could have a quick look at this one because it says about identifying cause and effect. Cause and effect. Right, that's a concept that comes up quite often in this book and in the Listening 1 reading and writing book. It's the idea of a cause and effect. So I'll just read this box for us. During a lecture or a presentation, a speaker sometimes talks about causes and effects. To identify causes, listen for phrases like due to, the reason for this is, because. Here are some examples. Due to modern kitchens, and that would be the cause, people don't have to spend much time cooking anymore. That's the effect. Okay? People don't have to spend much time cooking anymore. The reason for this is that we have modern kitchens. So there are different ways to say these sentences using different language. You can use due to, you can use the reason for this is, you can use because. And if you want to use it the other way around, to identify effects, listen for phrases like, that's why, this means. Here are some examples. As a child, I lived in Japan, Thailand, and Egypt. That's why I decided to study anthropology. You can find any recipe you want on the internet. This means that many people don't need cookbooks anymore. Cause and effect. Right, well, part 6 is a listening exercise, so we're not going to do that. Part 8, circle the best word or phrase to complete each sentence. Okay, maybe pause the video for a few seconds and then just do that part 8. All right, here are the answers. Number 1, because people spend more time online, our social lives have changed. So the first part is the cause. The second part is the effect. 2, both of my parents work full time. That's why they don't have much time to cook at home. Okay, so again, the first part is the cause, the second part is the effect. We have developed new technology. This means that our habits have changed. 4, people don't buy many CDs anymore because you can buy digital music. And the last one, because of social networking sites, people communicate more over the internet. All right, let's turn the page. We don't need to do page 88, but page 89, yes, let's look at this. Right, do you remember in Unit 2, we looked at prefixes? That was on page 45. Prefixes, that was Unit 2. Prefix came at the start of the word. So now look at this one, suffixes. This is when you put something at the end of a word to change the meaning. So a suffix is a group of letters which goes at the end of a word to make a new word. Learning the meaning of suffixes is a quick way to expand your vocabulary. Let's have a look at some of the common suffixes. Right, so you can see the box. Tradition. If you add the suffix al, you get traditional. That's an adjective. It means relating to. Traditional. Al means relating to. Okay, that's if you use al at the end of a word, it will turn it into a new word, which is going to be an adjective, and it will be relating to. This house is traditional. So it's relating to traditional style. End, endless. The suffix less is an adjective. It means without. Without an end. Endless. Accept, acceptable. The suffix able turns the word into an adjective, and it means can. It is acceptable. It is reliable. Modern, modernize. I-Z-E becomes a verb. Cause or become, modernize. I want to modernize my kitchen. It's like upgrade, right? Modernize. Get new, more modern appliances and things like, your refrigerator, maybe your coffee machine. Modernize, make it more modern. The suffix ment will turn the word into a noun. Develop becomes development. The suffix ion also turns the word into a noun. So for example, prevent, prevention. Help, if you use the suffix ful, it becomes helpful, which turns the word into an adjective. All right, so what you can do then, have a go at doing part 1. Put the words into the correct box, the correct column. Is it an adjective? Is it a verb? Is it a noun? You can just use the table at the top. It tells you what the suffix will do. So you can pause the video and do it by yourself. Okay, and then we'll quickly go through the answers. So agree, agreement. So MENT turns the word into a noun. Agreement is a noun. I agree with you. That's a verb. Agreement is the noun. This is quite useful, everybody, and quite important because I see these mistakes very often in writing and in speaking. Students get confused and they use a verb where they should use a noun, or they use a noun when they should use an adjective. You know, it's quite tricky. Excuse me. Okay, celebration. So it's got the suffix ion, so it's a noun. Celebration. To celebrate is the verb. Celebration, noun. Communication, noun. Connection, noun. Digital, AL, that's at the top of the box. AL turns it into an adjective. Digital. It's a digital clock. It's a digital watch. It's an adjective. It describes something. Digitize. IZE, that makes it into a verb. Excitement, noun. Frighten, that changes the word into a verb. Frighten. You frightened me. Hopeful, adjective. Organize, verb. Political, adjective. Professional, adjective. Recognize, verb. Specialize, verb. Successful, adjective. Unbelievable, adjective. It is unbelievable. It's describing something. Unforgettable, adjective. Useless, adjective. And weaken, verb. Okay, let's move on. Right, so let's try to practice using the correct suffix to answer the questions on page 90. And again, I would just pause the video and try to answer the questions yourself in your book, and then start the video again and listen to the answers. All right, so part 3, correct the mistakes in bold using the word forms in brackets. Chinese New Year is a great celebration. So you change celebrate into the noun form. 2, I got 60% in my exam. That's acceptable, but not great. That's an adjective. We need to change agree to a noun. I'm in agreement with you. Your argument really makes sense. We need to change politics into an adjective. The political situation in this country is very stable. Political. 5, public speaking, fright. Need to change into a verb. Frightens. Public speaking frightens many people. It's one of the most common fears. And let's make special into a verb. I want to specialize in foreign languages. Part 4. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in brackets. A lot of people think that it's bad for teenagers to spend so much time on social networking sites, but I think it's harmless. It's just fun. Harmless. You can find a lot of good, useful information on the internet, but to be honest, a lot of it is not reliable. You need to be careful about your sources. Enjoy. It's enjoyable to celebrate national holidays. Enjoyable. And then thought. Some people think you are not thoughtful if you don't remember their anniversary. Thoughtful. All right, so that is about suffixes, okay? So make sure you understand how to use a suffix to change the type of word. And you can change it into an adjective, into a noun, or into a verb. Page 6, now we're moving on to prepositions. Prepositions are small words like for, on, to, with, about. Words like that, they're called prepositions. And we often pair them with particular verbs or adjectives. So that's why it says dependent prepositions. So, right, page 91, circle the correct preposition. And if you need to use some online help or a dictionary, you can. But just have a go at doing page 91, part 6 and part 8. Can't do part 7 because that's a speaking exercise. Okay, so we're going to go through these answers, but just stop the video and try to circle the correct answer. All right, here we go. Number 1, do you adapt quickly to new situations? Adapt to. 2, do you like listening to traditional music? Listening to. 3, are you excited about any events this year? 4, do you think there is anything wrong with technology? 5, do you worry about spending too much time online? 6, do you belong to any clubs? 7, what is your favourite topic to talk about? And 8, what did you laugh at recently? Part 8, when did you first become interested in anthropology? 2, due to developments in technology, people communicate less face-to-face. 3, there are people who complain about the changes which technology has brought to our lives. 4, looking at a screen for too long can be bad for your eyes. 5, I was surprised by the differences between people of different cultures. Surprised by. My grandmother was responsible for making huge meals for our family celebrations. Alright, so let's have a look at the next set of vocabulary words connected to listening to. We're not going to do the listening part of it, but we will study the words. So these are words which are connected to discussion about giving gifts. Alright, so study the words, have a look at their meanings, and then when you're ready, try to fill in the blanks of those 8 questions. Okay, answer time. Number 1, did you really want to go to that dinner, or was it an obligation? Obligation, something which you have to do, there's no choice. 2, after I graduate from college, I'm going to have a big celebration. Graduate, to complete university or college successfully. 3, to make the card more personal, be sure to write a nice note inside. Personal, relating to an individual person and not anyone else. 4, to reward good behaviour, Miss Martinez lets her students have extra time outside. 5, thank you for the flowers for our anniversary. That was really thoughtful. Thoughtful, showing care and consideration. 6, Becca likes to wear casual clothes. She only gets dressed up on special occasions. Got to add an S, occasions. 7, our company is having a special event to celebrate its best salespeople. Event, anything which happens, especially something important or unusual. And 8, holidays have become too commercial. People spend too much on gifts. Commercial, relating to buying and selling things. Okay, so that's just all we had to do for this part. Let's move on to the next slide. Right, in page 94 and 95, we don't need to do these pages, so let's skip through this. Page 96, we can skip that part. We're going to look at the bottom of page 97 Using adverbs for emphasis. What does it mean, emphasis? It means when you want to give more meaning or more power to the things that you write or say. You can use an adverb. So let's read the box. We can use adverbs to make a point stronger. Examples. I strongly believe that people spend too much money on gifts. I really think. And you can also use adverbs when you are sure that you agree or disagree. I totally agree. Yes, that's completely true. That's definitely right. I'm really not convinced. It's absolutely not true. Okay, so these are adverbs for emphasis. Next page. Okay, page 98, part 3. Look at the sentences. Circle the sentences that you agree with and change the sentences you disagree with. Add adverbs if you have a strong opinion. Okay, so number 1. It's true that people don't have time to cook anymore. Right, now I don't really need to change that. I don't need to add any more emphasis because I don't really have a strong opinion about that one. Number 2, I'm against spending a lot of money during holidays or celebrations. Well, I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to leave that one as well. Now, number 3, I agree that modern technology has changed the way we interact with each other. Yeah, actually, I strongly agree with that. So let's just say it again using an adverb for emphasis. I totally agree that modern technology has changed the way we interact with each other. So I would just add the adverb totally. I totally agree. Number 4, I agree with. It's absolutely true that traveling to other countries helps us understand other cultures and their traditions. Number 5, I don't agree with that. So I would say I strongly disagree that tourists bring bad habits to our country. And number 6, I don't believe that learning English affects local customs and traditions. Yeah, I'd leave it like that. I don't have a strong opinion about that one. All right, so if you want to make your sentence have more meaning, you can use an adverb for emphasis. And just the last part of the page 98, it just says about pronunciation. Usually we stress those words more than the other words in the sentence. So look at the examples. Actually, let's look at part 5. So I'll just read them. I strongly believe that we should spend less time using social media. 2, I'm absolutely convinced that buying expensive cars is a waste of money. I really think that we can learn a lot from older people. I completely disagree with that argument. So you just give a little bit more emphasis to the adverb. Now obviously don't go too crazy. I completely disagree. Usually it's not quite that much stress. I completely disagree. So you can give the adverbs a little bit more stress.